Okay, here's a recent test of Davis Technologies traction control in an asphalt late model stock at Hickory Motor Speedway. What we have here is the red frame video is the red data in the red track map. The blue frame is the blue data, the blue map. The LED indicator here shows the traction control when it's active. The red frame ran traction control, came in, turned it off. The blue frame is without traction control. So here we did several laps, a few more without. We're going to start them at about the same mile an hour as they're coming up to speed. This is where they were close to each other on the racetrack, right here. You can see the blue is slightly behind the red. So we're going to start the video. It'll play in real time. You can see the progress of the car on the track here in each frame, as well as here compared to one another. This cursor will follow the mile per hour. Here's the G-forces. Here's your mile per hour here, G-forces here, current lap time. This inset video is of the throttle pedal, which we applied some orange tape to for easier viewing. And something important to watch is just the motion of the hands on the steering wheel and the amount of effort it takes to control the car without traction control. If you pay attention to the throttle, you'll see the driver's not intentionally trying to overdrive the car and demonstrate how well the traction control works. You'll see it applies the throttle nice and smooth in both videos. G's are the same, mile an hour is approximately the same. The red card does consistently pull a tiny bit more mile an hour, about a half to 1 mile an hour. Not always as indicated here. You'll see later in the video where he, right here, attempts to pick the throttle up a little earlier. Car gets loose. You'll see these hands steer hard right to try and correct. Get our starting point set back, and here we go. Red frame laps coming in. Blue frame laps are coming in. Stop the video. And if you look right, if you watch the video a few times and watch this section right here, you can see that he is actually much easier on the throttle without traction control. Here, he's having to baby the throttle. Over here, he's hitting it pretty hard, and it's taking it in this section right here. Here he's got to really baby the throttle. Here he hits it much harder. still sticks the tire and goes. We stop right here. They're both still at speed. He just got real loose off of this section. But if you come over here and look, the red car is falling quite a ways behind the blue car is falling behind the red car. I'll take the red car. Here are the lap times from those laps we just watched. Here's the red framed video with traction control. You can see his first lap out was a 16:20. His third lap was a 16:25. Fourth lap was next fastest at a 16:31. And the second lap was the slowest lap of that session at a 16:35. All within a tenth and a half of the fastest lap. This while running the traction control. Go here to session 10, which was run immediately after session 9, simply unplugging the traction control. So these were the blue frame laps with no traction control. You can see that lap 2 on that session was his fastest lap at a 16:33, but it was 0.13 seconds slower than his best lap run with traction control. Lap 1 was a 16:36, lap 3 was a 16:40, lap 5 16:48, lap 4 16:52, and then lap 6 16:62. A full 4/10 slower than his laps with traction control. 3/10 slower than the average with traction control, or the worst laps with traction control. He lost another 3/10. You see how quickly the times are dropping. It was pretty obvious the car was getting worse every lap. Had a lot of laps on the tires, but without the TC, the tires were getting hot. So again, traction control aided in the consistency and made the car much easier to drive and faster.